Welcome back to Gore Guide, where we're on a journey to compile a definitive list of gore and splatter films. Today we'll be continuing our look at the Wrong Turn franchise with Wrong Turn 3, Left for Dead. What you don't see will kill you. Can you believe someone actually gets paid to write this shit? Wrong Turn 3 is a 2009 film directed by Declan O'Brien, written by Connor James Delaney, and starring Tom Frederick, Janet Montgomery, and Tamer Hassan. If you couldn't tell by the title, this is the third film in the franchise, and the first with Declan O'Brien at the helm. He also went on to make films 4 and 5, so he's the name that is most associated with the series. And also, to some fans, the reason why the franchise took such a drastic drop in quality. But how true is that statement? Surely if the same director was hired to film 2 more sequels after it, Wrong Turn 3 can't be that bad, can it? Well, let's take a look and find out. A bus transporting prisoners crashes off the road in the mountains of West Virginia, and the occupants are attacked almost straight away by an unseen assailant. Seizing the opportunity to escape, the prisoners take the guards hostage and force them at gunpoint to guide them to the nearest phone or town. Not long into their journey, they come across a young female. She explains that her friends were all murdered by cannibal killers a couple of days previously, and she's been hiding in the woods ever since. The prisoners are skeptical of her story and take her hostage as well, but soon realize that she was telling the truth, as they are hunted and killed by the seemingly unstoppable psycho. Three Fingers is back. Again. Wrong Turn 3 starts off well, introducing a group of teenagers who are rafting down a river and stop off for a rest and some sunbathing when they get attacked by Three Fingers. It's a good start and has a couple of great kills, and it builds up excitement for the rest of the film. It switches gears after that and slows down considerably. The main story involving the prisoners organising an escape and the undercover cop pretending to be one of them isn't exactly original, but it is a different approach to the genre, and it helps make the simple stalk and slash element a bit more interesting. Another interesting plot development is when the group find an abandoned armoured truck filled with money. This helps build the mistrust between the prisoners and introduces moral dilemmas for a select few. What do they consider more of a priority? Their safety and freedom, or a bag of money? I like that the watchtower that they initially set off to find turns out to be the same one that burned down in the first film. That was a nice little connection that worked well. And I did like the very end of the film. I can't say much about it without spoiling things for you, but I will say sometime after the events of the film, a survivor goes back to the armoured truck to get the money and runs into a bit of trouble. It's a bit of a downer because it's basically saying that everyone's out for themselves and no one can be trusted, but I liked it. Where to start? Well, the fact that the story revolves around a group of prisoners who take people hostage while they're trying to escape doesn't make the audience connect with the characters. It also doesn't help that they're the biggest group of stereotypes imaginable. We have the Mexican drug lord, the white supremacist, the slimy redneck,
now.
the prisoner who might be innocent,
Okay, I'm innocent.
the undercover cop. Even the 2 main characters, who are supposed to be the heroes of the film, are just bland and forgettable. All this boils down to basically is poor writing, and the script is terrible, full of macho posturing and corny dialogue.
A head for a head! There she is! Take hers! Come on, you bastard! It's what you want, isn't it? Take the bitch!
It feels like the director said to the cast, basically, now, I've never met a prisoner in real life, but I'm pretty sure if you just say fuck every other word, people will think you're a big tough guy. Which probably seemed pretty natural to Tamer Hassan because he's built his reputation playing Cockney fucking gangsters.
Well, you know how it is, mate. You talk to the right people, grease the right palms, put the right drugs in the right people's pockets, hey presto. Out the ACAT, into the sea. Cushy little number.
The fact that he's a Turkish Cypriot from London playing a Mexican gangster with an American accent is just laughable. Also, his accent slips when he gets angry and he starts going all Cockney.
Fucking asshole! Why'd you fucking do that? Huh? Why'd you fucking do that? Tell me!
But actually, so much of this film is fake, you almost feel cheated. Almost the entire cast is British, pretending to be American. The West Virginia woodland is actually shot in Bulgaria. A lot of the outdoor scenes were obviously shot on a set, and the effects are almost all CGI, and not good CGI. Now, I know all films are fake, otherwise there'd be documentaries, and I don't mind actors doing accents, and I'm okay with changing filming locations for somewhere that looks similar. But when there's so much obvious fake shit going on, it just feels offensive as a viewer. I mean, is it really that much cheaper to fly a bunch of Brits to film in Bulgaria than to film Americans in their own country? I mean, I guess it's union bullshit, but it makes no sense to me. The middle section of the film is very slow, with a lot of footage of the group just walking through woods shouting at each other. And then when there is some action, either against Three Fingers or amongst themselves, the camera gets all shaky and everything gets very hard to see. One thing that isn't hard to see is the fucking awful CGI. Wrong Turn 3 has some of the worst CGI I've seen in a long time. From the fake backgrounds during the bus journey.
What you gonna do when you graduate law school?
Practice law.
No, that wise ass.
To a couple of really bad death scenes, to the final fight on the back of the truck. The effects in general are bad. For instance, there's a scene when the prisoners have to cut the legs off a dead body to remove the shackles. The knives go straight through the skin like butter, and you can clearly see they've made no effort to include any bones in the legs at all. It's a bit disappointing that the amount of killers has been reduced down to just Three Fingers and his nephew, cousin, brother, Three Toes, who is actually the baby from the end of Wrong Turn 2. Three Toes doesn't last very long, as he's soon killed by the prisoners, and then after that it kind of turns into a revenge film where Three Fingers starts picking the group off one by one with elaborate booby traps. It's also not as exciting as it sounds. One last petty grievance before we move on to the bloody section is, how come nobody's heard of these killers? The victims in both of the previous films found dozens of cars, so we can assume that the killers have been doing this for years and years. There have been 4 survivors that we know about in recent years that surely would have told everybody that would listen, police and media included, about the cannibal mutant family that live in the mountains. Not even the mountains, actually, in one very specific area. Add to this the fact that 2 police officers and almost the entire cast and crew of a TV show were killed. Somebody's going to care. But no, here we are in the 3rd film and nobody knows anything. Not even the sheriff and the prison guard. 2 members of law enforcement who are local to the area. Nothing.
You're fucking dead! Dead!
Fuck you!
My personal favourite kill is when Crawford tries to steal Three Fingers' truck. But as he approaches, he gets caught in a razor wire trap. And is dragged along the tarmac as Three Fingers drives off. There isn't that much blood in Wrong Turn 3, and most of the best kills happen in the first 10 minutes. After that, the film relies far too heavily on unbelievable elaborate traps and CGI blood. So Wrong Turn 3 gets 2.5 out of 5 for amount of blood, and 1 out of 5 for quality of effects. After 2 very good films, the series takes a very sharp turn for the worse with this installment. From the inconsistent accents and awful dialogue to the terrible pacing and some of the worst CGI since The Mummy Returns, Wrong Turn 3 is a pretty bad film. And yet, despite its many problems, it's still not the worst film in the franchise. So Wrong Turn 3 gets 1.5 stars out of 5. Let me know in the comments below what your thoughts are on Wrong Turn 3, or if you have any requests for future videos. Join me next time when we'll be taking a look at Adam Chaplin. There's a link to a trailer in the description below, along with a link to my list of films on Letterboxd. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and click on the bell to keep up to date with new content. Thanks for watching, and until next video, have a bloody good time.